Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and to this time-lapse version of a sailboat in soft pastel. I hope you enjoyed the speedy version of this here. I will release a full-length tutorial over on my Patreon channel if you'd like to work along. But if you enjoy this here, then please do subscribe. I took this photo reference quite a few years ago now in Newcastle in Northern Ireland. Very beautiful spot. And one afternoon witnessed this very pretty little sailboat going past. I was particularly drawn to that lovely vibrant set of red sails. And so now with my mini demos on Patreon, I'm getting a chance to go back through some of these older photo references and try to pull out some little projects like this, and I'm really enjoying these smaller paintings at the moment. So for this one, I'm working on Pastel Matte. I love this warm yellow tone of Pastel Matte. I decided to go for something warm underneath. And I often do that. I like to use a nice warm colour of paper just to bring out some extra warmth in the painting. But the main thing I've been talking about this past month on my Patreon channel is tonal values. And just the other day, I released a video here on YouTube as well, which you'll find on my channel, all about applying tonal value information to choose your colours. It's really half the battle. And this was another little piece that I had chosen out as an interesting look at how tonal values affect everything. So from choosing the colours of blue and blue-green in the water, to thinking about the amount of contrast I want to create between the colour of the sea and the vibrant red of the two sails. So an interesting thing to do is to change your photo reference into grayscale, and I'll just do that here now so that you can see. You can really notice the tonal values of the red sails in comparison to the areas behind in the ocean. And really, in the grayscale version, it's all a bit samey. It's all like there's no real contrast between the boat and the water. So something that I can use to help that effect in the colour version is, of course, the lovely contrast between the red and the blue-greens behind. So sometimes you can create contrast with the different tonal values that you use. But in this case, actually, the tonal values of the sails and the water behind are pretty similar. So the key is to create a really vibrant red sail here so that it pops out against that blue-green background. So a couple of lovely, vibrant unison reds. And of course, I want to try and replicate the light and shade on the sail as well. I'm using a dark Terry Ludwig. This is the eggplant colour. And rather than using black in those areas, the dark Terry Ludwig eggplant colour has a lot of warmth to it, so it works really well when you're trying to darken red. And then bringing in slightly more vibrant, lighter reds until I'm actually using this lovely vibrant orange tone as my main bit of highlight on the sails. So again, I'm not darkening the red using black, and I'm not lightening the red using white, because when you do that, it kind of sucks all of the saturation or the chroma out of the colour. And it either dulls it with black or it slightly washes it out using white. So there are certain colors where it's good to not use black or white, to shade them either darker or tint them lighter. And red is definitely one of those colors. So I'm by no means finished the seals, but at least I've got the red blocked in. And I start to work on the boat and the water surrounding the boat. The little figures inside the boat are pretty small in my composition. This little study is just 8 by 10 inches. And at this point I do pick up a little bit of pastel pencil just to help me with some of the very fine poles and the edges of the seals. But I'm still trying to bring in as much of my soft pastel sticks as possible. Just blocking in as best I can and then neatening up the shapes that I can see. And on this scale, I really can't go into much detail. I've got to be a bit suggestive with the people, just trying to capture the gesture of the person, what he's doing. But there is only so much I can do on this scale, so you can see a little bit of help from the pastel pencils. And then reusing that vibrant red from the seal on the life jacket just helps bring a little dot of the red further down. And then just a few little details with pastel pencil to bring it all together. And then I start to create a few of the little folds on the seals. All the time bearing in mind the tonal value of the seal is pretty dark. I don't want to bring in really light colors to start to wash out those vibrant reds. So using the orange tone as the highlight on the red there, I think that really worked. And now just to block in the rest of the water, I always enjoy painting water reflection. Lots of little horizontal lines just to suggest the motion in the water. You can see that I simplified the water a lot behind the boat. I let that kind of go off into the distance, and then I'll add a bit more detail in the water down here in the foreground. That lovely splash of red coming right down to the bottom of the painting. So this is the same darker red that I used on the seal. And I'm just giving the marks a little blend into the blues underneath as well. The colours in a reflection are usually just a little bit more dull than the colour that's actually being reflected. And then I work back through that with some of the blue-greens of the water. So I always love creating the effect of a reflection with a couple of ideas. You can get it to look quite convincing quite quickly. So just making sure that what's above lines up with what's below, so the two shadows of the men. If everything lines up, then it can be quite a quick effect to create. So just a few highlights, a few finishing touches. Just darkening the shadow on this seal. And to add just a few final darker tones throughout the shadows here using my blender. And a couple of final highlights on the main sails. And for this, I'm using a light pale lilac tone here just to add a little bit of sheen as if it's being reflected from the sky. So a really enjoyable little study to do. This took about 3 hours. And the full length tutorial will be coming out today actually on my Patreon channel. So if you'd like to work along with me, I'll add the link in the description. If you'd like to see the tonal values video, I'll add a link to that at the end of this video. But thanks very much for watching this here, and until next time, happy pasteling.